Hello and welcome to Mumblecast, an oddly structured, poorly researched podcast extravaganza. My name is Liam, and as always, I'm here with my co-host Kayla.
Hi.
How are you, Kayla?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How's your Thanksgiving week been?
It was great. We had vegan Thanksgiving.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Somebody we know started eating vegan, so we had vegan Thanksgiving. But it was really good.
Good.
What'd you
did
do?
know that because I was there and I had it and I was the vegan. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You do you.
I should apologize. The world
No.
should apologize for that. So today we are doing our very first
Round table.
Yeah, our very first round table. We have got our two recurring guests.
I don't think it's our very first. You've done one with your family.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
It's
one.
our very second round table.
This is our very second with returning guests. The first one is our very first guest, and he can introduce himself now.
Yay, hey, that's me. I am great. I wasn't sure who was first.
Yeah, you are.
You.
I think you've been the only one other than my family.
Brandon's
and
been on
Brandon.
there.
Other than my family and Brandon.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
Question
Drake
is-
has been mentioned. You cannot speak until you're introduced. Podcast etiquette. Drake has been mentioned a lot in this podcast. So
Should just never introduce him.
yeah, I don't get well. We have another guest, and we won't introduce him. Okay, introduce yourself, other guest.
Hello. This is Brandon.
Hello, this is Brandon.
Oh my god. This is going to be great.
Brandon who?
I am Liam's landlord.
He is my landlord. This is correct.
I think I've been the best guest on the Mumblecast so far.
You have been a good one. We got lots of good reviews on that episode.
Oh yeah, from who?
Jose.
Oh yeah. Jose, thanks for listening. You're like our only listener plus reviewer, and we really appreciate it. We do this for you,
we do.
basically. So if you stop listening, tell us, because it will just stop. But don't stop listening, please. On that topic, if you are a listener and you don't know us, just like give us a tweet or an Instagram and say hello.
Yes,
Nothing
please
else,
do.
just hello. We won't respond to you. Don't worry, it won't get awkward. I just want to know if anyone who doesn't know us listens.
We'll just like it. Still,
No, but
acknowledge.
DM us, slip into our DMs.
Oh, slip into our DM.
Unless you want to call it, and then we'll call you out.
Yeah.
But it's not fun when you're the only listener anyway. But yeah. All right. So today's topic, as Kayla mentioned, is going to be a round table. The four of us have all chosen some random thing to talk about, and we're going to pick one at random, talk about it, and then hopefully get to the other ones, depending how long it takes.
Yep.
So Kayla, you're going to read it out when you pick one up. You just pick it and read it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, and are you guys going to join us in this? When I say, well, in that case, let's see if they know how it's going on.
Yep, let's do it.
Well, in that case,
Let's get ready to mumble.
Oh,
No,
wow.
they don't know.
They don't listen. Okay, that's fine.
All right. First topic.
First topic.
We'll go with this one.
It's on paper if you can't tell by the noise.
The first topic is who planted the dinosaur bones?
Oh no. Who planted the dinosaur bones? Very good question.
Mm-hmm.
Whose topic was that?
That was mine.
Okay, good.
That was Drake's
So
topic.
Drake's the most religious of all of us, so I'm
Yeah.
surprising that comes from there. He
Mhm.
likes to sing church songs on a regular basis.
I do.
He just wants to be a sheep. Blah, 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 blah.
No, not now.
Not now.
Okay, who planted the dinosaur bones? Is there anyone here believe that that's the case? Truly, though. Do we ever think there's a time where people aren't going to believe that that is the case?
I don't know.
You don't know who planted them, or you don't know
I
if
don't.
there's somebody.
I mean, someone might believe that. I mean, the Earth is flat.
That
In
that's
2019.
that's true. We know that. But
I don't know who flattened it out, but it's happened in the past.
Somebody
couple
ironed it within the past few years. Now it's flat.
years.
So with the world being flat, how would a meteor? Well, was it meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs? Is that proven? Is that scientifically like the consensus? For
I have
those
no
who
idea.
don't
Yeah.
believe it's
Consensus,
flat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we don't actually know if that was the truth or not.
No, it's happened a while back before Instagram.
Yeah.
I didn't catch
Nobody
it.
got to
Instagram, no pictures.
boomerang the meteorite coming in.
Do we think the same thing could happen again? Destroy all us?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Big time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think it was actually a meteor though, or
I
do you
do
think the
have a
meteor
question.
hit and then it affected the atmosphere, and that's what caused the extinction?
This might answer my question.
No, we're not. Surely it
I
could
don't-
have been a meteor hit, and then that's what caused it.
So my
Well-
question was going to be, how could there be a meteor that big to kill every single dinosaur on the entire planet? and not destroy the planet.
So there's theories that if it hit in the water, it would create a big enough tsunami that it could wipe out a large majority of land.
Okay.
Well, they think it's the one in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
In Yucatan.
But it's not that big of a hole.
It was a pretty big hole.
No, but if it's coming from space, that's a lot of force.
Well, think about Krakatoa. So Krakatoa was the largest scientifically documented volcanic eruption in somewhat modern history.
Uh-huh.
And that threw enough ash into the atmosphere to lower global temperatures by roughly 1.5 degrees.
And that makes
For
it
a
cost
couple
like
years?
2 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if an asteroid could hit Earth and throw a bunch of debris into the atmosphere. So the question is, how many degrees do you have to lower the temperature for how long?
But then why would the animals in the ocean die then? Like, why did dinosaurs in the ocean die?
Well, did they die
They're all
because
reptiles, and
Yeah.
it just gets cold.
Did they die because there
so.
wasn't the temperature dropped, or did they die because the sunlight was blocked out by all the debris in the air?
I
Or
think-
did
and so the
their
plant
food
life
die?
I think
Or-
if the
Yeah.
sun was blocked out, there would be a clear example of that in soil. You know how they dig in and see the different layers of things. I think it'd be a clear example. It was like nothing grew at this period, which would happen if the sun was blocked out. So that would be a clear distinction in the.
I thought they
Sediment.
already discovered that.
Well, when we were in
know.
the Natural Science Museum the other day, what are those things called? The tetradites or
like the horseshoe crab looking things.
I only know it. No, I was about to say I only know it from Pokemon. Never mind.
anyway, the little
Yeah.
horseshoe crab
Trilobites.
things. Trilobites.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
They still lived, didn't they? Like there were some stuff that still lived, no?
Yeah.
Just not the
A
big
lot of stuff
dinosaurs.
Well, the sharks are maybe descendants and stuff.
Yeah. And crocodiles.
And birds.
So like did evolution
shrews.
not just kill most of it?
My thought is it obviously didn't kill everything because it's not as if it would have people would have grown up
Restarted.
again and then evolution would have gone the exact same way. There's
Yeah.
no way that would happen, even though it's not going the exact same way. But
So it just killed like the bigger ones and then the other ones evolved to modern day crocodiles and alligators and sharks.
maybe that's it. The ones
Yeah.
who required more substance died because they couldn't find it. But the small kind of scavengers survived. However, don't they say like T-Rex and Velociraptors and stuff were all scavengers as well? They weren't actually
The
big
T-Rex
predators.
was for sure, I think.
Yeah.
We saw those bones at the museum.
I mean, how is
They
it
were
even to
funny.
catch anybody with those tiny
So
little
tiny.
arms?
Yeah. So pointless. I don't think they actually did anything.
No.
I picture them just kind of dangling when they was like
Yeah.
running or whatever.
Like me doing push-ups.
He like
Yeah.
grabs an
Or
apple and
you
he's
running.
like-
Yeah.
Or me running.
Yeah.
Or dancing.
Oh, you do? What? Yeah.
He like grabs an apple.
I love Tyrannosaurus Rex memes. There's some real fun ones.
Yes.
So, do we think anybody will ever believe or stop believing that dinosaur bones are planted?
There will always be people who
I think
don't
there will
believe in
always be
science.
people that
Yeah.
believe that.
Is Christianity the main religion that believes that? Like, is it brought up in like other religions? Anyone know?
So my grandpa is a preacher, and I like would ask him, like, where do dinosaurs fall in this whole thing of the ark, and he never had a good answer for me. Not one that my like 6 and 7, 8-year-old brain would accept as like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. At all.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there isn't a way to explain it for the most part, is there?
No, the ocean. Noah didn't put them on the ark, and they died.
So, do people say that it was the devil who planted them, and they just tried to trick us? So what's the actual?
The
I
government.
think people think that people planted them there.
Yeah, the
just
government.
Yeah.
Government
Okay.
mind control.
Just to like
It's the Illuminati.
mess with people.
It is.
Is Illuminati? Yeah, it could
But
be.
people actually believe that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't believe that the world's around. People will believe anything. Still.
Well, that's just stupid.
It's stupid.
And we walked on the moon. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah.
Who could get
Wait a
there?
minute. With our understanding of the world being flat, is the moon round? What's it for moon? The moon is round, right?
No, the moon's flat too.
The moon's flat. No. I think
No,
that's
it's
what it
round.
is.
I watched Luna, the Pixar short. Basically, there's a boat. It sails there. You climb up. You take all the little. You like have to. The moon doesn't change shape. It's all the stars, and you have to like put them all on one side. The moon's round. Watch the Pixar short.
Does that relate to our belief of?
It's round.
Okay.
So here's
tie
what.
on with flat Earth.
The Earth is flat. That's how you climb to the moon.
Okay.
But what's on the dark side of the moon?
Craters.
No, we just Does the moon revolve around all?
No.
Us? Or how does the moon?
Well, we
come
don't
back?
revolve around the moon.
It doesn't revolve because it can't revolve around us if we're flat.
No, but
Yeah,
we can still be the axis, like the center of the axis. How does the sun come up and go down?
It's like a Xerox.
No, the sun just circles around the top. That's what happens.
Okay, so the moon must do the same then.
Just on the opposite side. So like sun, moon, they're both going.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Do hand gestures come out well in podcast form?
Excellent.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Really,
Okay.
really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
They all come out real clear.
Message received.
All right, we want
pick
the next
that
one.
Yes, did we all decide that nobody
I
planted
still want to know who
dinosaurs?
planted them.
It's the Illuminati.
It is.
Fred.
Okay, I can live with that.
Okay.
Fred the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone.
It's the Knights Templar.
Yeah. Or
Nice
Fred
Templar.
Oh, those,
Yeah.
those aren't.
Damn those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, how did they didn't know about dinosaurs? There's no scripture about dinosaurs back then because nobody knew about dinosaurs, right?
No, but they've had this planned out for a long time. I
I
mean,
mean,
Look,
that
they're
one
playing
guy.
the long game.
Look, that one guy sat in that cave for like 400 years.
Who designed them? That's impressive. Was it Da Vinci?
It was like a 5-year-old.
No, they had.
Probably like some 5-year-old. It was just drawing.
Yeah.
Okay. So they just looked like birds and insects and amalgamated them.
Yes.
But
Yes.
no, Templars didn't know about lizards because there's no lizards in Britain.
No, but they were French and
They were well
European, and
There's not many lizards in fancy though.
yeah. There's a lot of things you don't know about the Knights Templar.
Okay, that's a really easy way to say shut up, Liam. Let's move on. And it's taken. Okay, let's move on.
All right, next one.
Next one.
Will there ever be another world war? And if not, what will be the next big death disaster?
Well, that kind of ties in with the extinction of the dinosaurs if it did not happen.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first part, I guess. The World War.
I'm going to say yes. I'm sure there will be another world war.
Yeah.
Why not? Because humans have been fighting forever, so they will not. It's not that we're going to stop.
But do you think there is now too much of instant annihilation
No.
at threat? No?
We had that in World War II. We're still
But not
fighting.
really. They're not quite the same way. Like right now, it's literally a press of a button and you can wipe out Korea,
Yeah.
which you couldn't do back then.
You had to actually fly the bomb there, get it there, drop it there.
Yeah, but the fact
One
that
city.
everybody has that option
That nullifies
is
happening.
more likely that it's going to happen.
Really? I think it becomes a stalemate at that point. If everybody can do
So
it.
you have somebody
everybody
like Kim
gets the trigger
Jong-un
and
that has it, and then there's Russia, and then India, and all these different countries have it.
Yeah, and it's like,
It's more
okay,
likely that it's going to escalate to a point where somebody just says, fuck it, I'm pushing the button.
even though they know that they're next.
Well, you know, the funny thing is this really relates down to the American gun laws. So he clearly has an opinion of against guns and you have one of 4 guns.
Really?
It's safer to have a gun because then I can find someone who's got a gun. Oh, everyone's got a gun. Someone's going to get shot eventually.
Huh.
Anyway, yeah, I just can't see someone having enough power to say, okay, fire, and getting away with it. And like,
No, they won't get away with it, which is why there will be a world war.
do you think America will ever be nuked? Like officially it hits.
Do we need to like define what we mean by World War? Do we mean intra-world or with other worlds?
Let's go intro for now. We can maybe discuss.
I think intra is more probable.
Yeah.
I think no.
I think
no to intra, but I think that there will be extra world.
Brandon thinks
Wars.
there's aliens that are
No,
coming for
so
us.
I think if that
War
ever
of the
happens, there won't
worlds.
be a war. If there's an alien race that makes it here, we're all in trouble.
Yeah,
there's
they're
no
smarter than
fighting at
us.
that point because they would have the technology to get here.
You don't know. It could be a couple hundred years from now. We could have
Try a couple of millennia from now.
we could have Starfleet.
So this, I was going to drink about this. I think we might have mentioned on the podcast. Is that sort of belief that for us to go outside our solar system, we have to harness a certain percentage of the energy our solar system provides. At the moment,
Yes.
we don't. Was it me and you that talked about
It
this?
was me and you.
You told me about
It was
this.
a type 1, a type 2,
well,
and
tell
type
me
3
about this
civilization.
because
Yeah.
you have better knowledge of it than I do.
So a type 1 civilization is capable of harnessing all of the energy that is on their planet or comes to their planet from their sun.
Okay.
A type 2 civilization is able to harness all of the energy in their solar system with the most common concept is a Dyson sphere, where you can basically build a solar panel around the sun and capture all the sun's energy. And then a type 3 civilization would be a civilization that could capture all of the energy in their galaxy.
What sci-fi book is this from?
No, this is a very well documented
Yeah.
principle.
Yeah. And so apparently we harness less than like.
Well, that's why I'm wondering why it's.
Currently Earth's energy.
Yeah,
Never
what
mind
sci-fi
the
is it from?
sun's,
Because
never mind
it's so far above anything that we can do.
So
What scientists actually took the time to define that being the thing?
It was someone like 100 years ago. It was quite a while ago.
I don't even think it was. I don't even think it was that. I think it was like Carl Sagan.
Oh, okay, I was way off then.
Yeah.
So for us to get to the point where we could find other worlds, we are so far away from that at the moment. And there's belief that we're going to make ourselves extinct before we get even close to that.
Well, that's the principle of the Great Filter.
Okay, what's that?
So the Great Filter is the idea that at every point, the reason we haven't found other intelligent life is because at some point, every civilization, as life develops, hits a point where they wipe themselves out. Either the first filter is forming multi-cell organisms, the second filter is surviving like the atomic age, the third could be global warming, the fourth could be atomic war, whatever.
Okay.
So is there a filter that no intelligent civilization is able to survive?
Yeah. Interesting. And the likelihood is, okay. So if there is infinite universes, infinite worlds, infinite solar systems, blah, blah, that should have happened already. There should be if it is as long, as deep, and as infinite as people suggest, then statistically it should have happened, right?
And it probably did happen.
Well, yeah.
But then there should always be at least one who's completed it. He's like finished the game.
Sure, but the problem is that we're really only going to be able to interact with civilizations from within our local galaxy cluster.
Yeah.
Because all the other galaxy clusters are so far away that the expansion of the universe means they're moving away from us.
And the chances we could be the very first to get this far.
It could be.
And there's no reason why we couldn't be. It may take billions of years.
Still way over my head. Not over my head.
As far as world wars go, yeah, there could be another one. I think the nuclear bombs and the threat of it, and things like oil, and when oil runs out, which it will probably do within the next 1,000 years, to fight an argument over that will probably create some sort of tension.
Yeah. But even this week, I think there's 4 or 5 countries that tested ICBMs, like Russia and North Korea.
ICBMs?
Intercontinental ballistic missile.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going to give them that's what you can push a button and send something.
The thing with that is, like, I'm not saying that we all should have one, but I'm just saying, like, with them, like, with the knowledge of however many people have one, does it not just lead to a stalemate of, well, I know if I do this, this is coming back to me. And so that kind of keeps everybody from not doing it.
That was the Cold War, essentially.
Yeah.
But then you have other people like Iran or North Korea that's not involved in that, and they're like, well, now we won't win. Mm-hmm. So the more people that haven't, I think it's the more likely that it's going to be used.
Gotcha.
There was a big discussion and a constant ongoing with UK and their version, because we've got like 3-4 Trident missiles, which are nuclear bombs, and they're in submarines and they're in the world, and nobody knows where they're. The UK knows where that's it, and there's always a constant thing: do we get rid of them? Do we keep them? Do we get rid of them? Do we keep them? Is it worth the millions and millions of dollars we do to upkeep them and all this sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Or should we just get rid of them? Is it worth it? Is it really protecting us? We're so small, blah blah blah. So it's that same argument: is it protecting us? Is it not? Is it worth having it? Is it keeping people from nuking us?
What happens if one of them fails?
Chernobyl on a grander scale.
Like, and just accidentally
So-
shoots and
I
demolishes
don't think
the
they can
place.
accidentally shoot. I think there's so many fail safes in front of that, and it's a combination of the nuclear isotope, what was going on, and the explosion that creates that. As in, they can both fail separately and not affect anything.
Okay.
It's the combination of what they do together, and that's like a lot more difficult to create.
So I have a hypothetical that might lead to global war.
Okay.
It's a potentially reasonable hypothetical here.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of very smart people have said that the greatest existential threat to mankind, humankind, is the development of artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. And what if you have a country that's about to turn on like the super AI, And everyone thought that AI is going to wipe out mankind, a la The Matrix or Terminator, whatever.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, the only way that we can stop this country from turning on the AI is to nuclear computer mainframe. And we have to do it to save
the human race.
the human race. What do you do?
Wait a minute. So is it confirmed that if they turn it on, the human race will die? Or we just don't know?
You don't necessarily know, but
I think the problem with the artificial intelligence is you don't know that that's going to happen until it's too late and it's already happened.
maybe not.
Because then at that point, everything's just based off of a sci-fi movie.
I think the only way of being fully safe and having AI is to have to turn off all networks. Like, you have to stop the missiles having any network connection with anything. It needs to be a totally manual push button. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you can stop things like that from happening, and that won't happen.
But you're saying,
But they'll make the T-1000s and they'll come after you.
Guys, that's how the 100 happened.
We're going for really well-known popular culture here, and you're going to the 100.
But it is. No, what happened is...
it made it to Netflix. Come on.
They got Allie to... Which she was the AI, and like she like believed that in order to save the human race, that in order to save the planet, not the human race, or save the planet, that the human race had to be destroyed because it was too many, and so she's the one that set off the nuke that destroyed it because she thought she was doing the right thing, and she was AI.
So how real do you think this is then? Because if you look at sci-fi from 50 years ago, it's all nonsense. Look at Blade Runner is this year or next year. You know?
Is it all nonsense though?
Yeah. I mean, look at Blade Runner. It's nonsense.
Well, okay, that's Blade Runner, but there could be a nugget of truth there.
But not really, though. Maybe that was what they thought 2019 was going to be.
Well, what is Blade? It's a
Back to the
dystopian future that's run by a whole bunch of
Back to the Future, maybe.
maniacal corporations. Like, someone would argue that's...
But you could also argue that was the case back then as well.
Well,
It's just a bigger organizations now.
it's all perspective.
So I'm just saying, like, our sci-fi and our thoughts of the dystopian future, is it going to be the same?
Yeah, but then we looked at, what was that show with the MacGyver guy who, like, he time traveled? And he had the dude with the cigar and they were always punching the little...
I want to say
Doctor
Quantum
Who?
Leap, but I don't know what you're talking about.
I was thinking Doctor Who, but that's what it is.
Well,
the only two sci-fi, the only time travel ones are Quantum Leap and Doctor Who. They don't know
Quantum Leap, that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if they would have had an iPhone instead of that, like, weird Tetris iPad thing that they had,
That's true.
there's some things that are more advanced, some that are less.
All right, so that's a big question we could probably keep talking about for a while.
Yeah.
Let's hit the main points of it. Is there going to be another interworld world war?
Probably.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon says
yes.
I'm going to say no.
Kayla says.
Probably.
You say.
I say
Drake
yes.
says yes. I say no. I don't think it's going to be a world war. It's going to be maybe two nations do something stupid, but I don't get create a world war.
Yeah.
Unless you consider that a world war, which is not really. Okay, so if it isn't a world war, for those who say no, what is going to be the next big death thing? I think it could be that. So it's along the same lines, but it's not.
I don't know if that's the big death thing, though. I think there's probably another world war, but I don't think it's the big death thing.
No?
It's probably like a superbug or something.
I think it's either a superbug or artificial intelligence.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Global warming.
All right. All right, round worlder. I mean, I think global warming,
The ice caps are
becoming-
melting. The polar bears are dying.
atmospheric temperature change, coming to lack of crops, that could turn it that way, but it's that's a long process.
I did just watch The Day After Tomorrow,
Yeah.
the Dennis Quaid movie. Or is it the right?
Tom Cruise, isn't it?
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it actually triggered a global ice age, which would be so cool because then my electricity bill would go way down.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but then you'd have to turn the electricity up because it'd be so cold, so that it'd go higher. Nah. Okay.
Be
Yeah.
okay.
Scotland was ruined. Do you remember that film? Like Scotland just froze over immediately. I remember that.
I do
So,
remember
Scotland's in the movie. Oh, we're frozen. We survived about 20 minutes. That was brilliant. Okay, two more questions. That was
Alright.
mine, by the way. If anyone didn't
Can
know.
you do yours last?
Can you do mine next?
Okay.
Because I think it fits
Okay.
in.
would've
Mine
been a
kind
good
of does
guess
too,
right now.
but we'll go yours.
At right,
You
it's
read
right.
it. You can read it out loud unless you is it complicated.
Oh, he wanted me to read it first.
Okay, so this is Brandon. Brandon is known within our
Okay.
friendship group of coming up with crazy hypotheticals or talking about things that
This is fine.
no one really knows
Yeah.
about. So
All
let's
right.
see what he's done.
Potential hypothetical. The human race is facing potential extinction due to some slow-paced event. You have the ability to save humans as a species, but you have to make sacrifices. What are you willing to sacrifice?
Oh, wow, we've really kind of gone along the same lines. Like,
Yeah.
Mine's
introducing
also
the word-
very similar too.
Yeah, okay,
So let me lay out. Let's say that it's like that Children of Man movie where like no babies are being born.
Okay. You guys seen that? The Clive
No.
Owen movie?
No.
It's quite a good movie. It didn't do great, but it's quite a good movie.
It was a bit of an odd movie.
Yeah,
It was a bit
it
weird.
was quite good though.
It had a bit of a dark vibe.
Yeah.
So no more babies are being born,
Okay.
and people are going to start dying off. But to have someone have a baby, you have to kill someone.
Okay.
Would
One in,
you,
one out type theory.
Yeah, one in, one out. Would you start killing people to?
You killed the old people,
Well,
right?
if you just wait for the old person to die, that work?
No, you have to kill the. You have to make the sacrifice.
I should see this movie.
Or let's say that
Make more
you had to
sense.
build. Let's say you had to build a spaceship to fly 1,000 humans off of Earth before it is consumed by some sort of massive solar storm.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get the ship built, you had to kill like 6 billion people.
So you have literally a couple million left.
You
Oh, no,
have
but
literally a
it's
couple
a-
million left. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you
Okay.
do?
But of that couple million, only 1,000 get to live
So
after
you're
that.
basically
Yeah.
only saving 1,000 anyway.
Yeah. Everyone else is going to die, but it's like, do you kill the people now, so the 1,000 can go, or do you just let everyone kind of like run their course?
Again, I watched the 100, and you don't kill people. You just let shit happen.
So
No, but I'm assuming you've got a set timeline for this to happen. Because you said this flares.
it could be it could be like a slow paced event where we know it's like 20 years away. Everyone will die in 20 years, unless you kill a bunch of people now, so that the species can escape.
You will never get away with killing a bunch of people now. Not unless one nation goes, okay, boom.
Well,
That's
You'll
not-
never know enough. I feel like you wouldn't know enough to be certain enough that you could kill people and say, no, that's actually going to help.
That's true.
Like if it's global warming, like,
Sure,
oh, well, if you
sure,
killed 6 billion
sure.
people, then global warming would stop happening. It's like,
well, what if
but global warming might not kill a bunch of people, so maybe it's not even worth it.
you're Thanos and you think that you have to kill half the? Yeah.
Well, if you're Thanos, you've got that power. You've got the power to bring them back.
Yeah.
So do it and see what happens. So that's easy. I think also on your two spectrums, killing the people. If you know, and everybody is agreeing that once you only have it, you have to have an agreement. Okay, 70, you're dead. You have to die at 70. You get 70 years and then you die, and then you're killed or you can be euthanized or whatever. Like, what's the one for humans? It's not euthanasia. It is euthanasia.
Yeah.
I think that probably actually can happen relatively quickly. You know, I think most people, especially once you get over 70, like, okay, I'm kind of done. Anyway,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think that'd probably work quite quickly. Especially because the amount of people that want kids, they would be able to enforce that quite quickly.
Well, it doesn't have to necessarily be around kids. It could be around.
What if it wasn't about killing people? What if it's like you have to give up internet or electricity?
Sure. Yeah. What
Those
if,
would be probably harder sells than
what if
killing the old people.
What if the artificial intelligence was to take all of us out, and the only way to save us is to set up an EMP bomb in the atmosphere that's going to wipe out all electronics?
Do it.
But it's going to set us back to the ice age, and a bunch of people are going to die because we can't
Because
harvest
nobody
the
knows
food.
how to live outside.
Yeah.
But why would it send us back to the ice age?
Because
Setting off the EMP doesn't change the global atmosphere.
No, the Stone Age.
It
Where
was-
nobody knows how to live outside.
Oh.
we wouldn't have the technology to feed 7 billion people if we didn't have computers. So
Well, but that's I feel like that's a different kind of killing people, and people would be more okay with that because it's not, you're not directly being like, okay, you have to die at this point. It's like, we're going to try this. If this doesn't work, yeah, people will die, but we're at least trying. We're being proactive.
Okay, so put it in a situation where it was every family had to have one person that died, or two people, and it was randomly selected. So they came to you and said, okay, Kendall has to die. Different, right?
Yeah.
It's a weird situation. If someone came to me, okay, Declan has to die for this, one person from every sex or whatever, then it becomes it's a lot more of a difficulty. You can't say, oh yeah, it easily kills 6 billion people, you know?
That's what I'm saying. You become proactive about it, and you're like, okay, we set off this EMP. Yeah, it's going to send us back to the Stone Age, and we're like, things are probably not going to be great for a while, but people lived. Like, you could figure it out.
Yeah, I think his question is more.
You realize this is the plot of GoldenEye.
No.
Basically.
I can't remember GoldenEye.
Are you basing all these questions off sci-fi movies?
Maybe.
I just know, like, in the 100...
So what happened in GoldenEye?
James Bond stopped the madman from setting off the EMP. Yeah.
Well, in that case, did they do alright?
Well, yeah, they didn't trigger a Stone Age.
It wouldn't trigger a Stone Age, though. You just restart everything.
I would still have all the knowledge. You just wouldn't have the stuff.
Well, an EMP doesn't destroy things. It just stops the circuits. You can just turn it on and off again.
No, it fries it.
Fry it.
It would fry it.
You can just
EMPs don't
remake
always
it.
fry circuits, though.
You could remake it because all your computer, you'd have to basically like start back at like the first semiconductor back in like,
Doesn't
and all your
circuits.
mine equipment is out. All of your airplanes don't work anymore. We don't have any cars.
So why is that always in movies? It turns them off. Oh, you have like a minute before we restart everything.
Well, those are probably EMP protected hardware.
Oh, so we have that.
Yeah.
So you have to make
Like
sure that
Air
AI
Force-
isn't EMP protected.
Well, Air Force One is designed to survive
So
at
there will be
EMP.
things that survive.
Yeah, Air Force One would, but like 99.9999%
A Milgauss would survive.
and Milgauss would survive. Maybe that's a case for another watch edition.
What was the question again? I'm lost.
What would you
There's a
sacrifice?
very vague question on what you
So,
would sacrifice for some
In the
undetermined
100, they
thing
were
that
going to
would go
run out
wrong.
of air a specific
Yeah.
amount of time if they didn't
It's a very
sacrifice,
branded
like,
question.
say,
There's only one
300
answer.
people on the ship.
I would
Okay.
sacrifice
And-
bread.
So they, like, 300 people volunteered to basically be killed, and they killed them, and they had to live with that. And so I don't think that's an appropriate way to do it. You have to find another method.
I don't think you'd ever have that situation in your life with 300 people who volunteer.
You don't?
Yeah. I would never volunteer myself. I'm a selfish dick. though,
But most of them were, like, they were parents, or, like this dad, like, they were all going to die if 300 didn't.
I guess
So
my
you
dad
have-
would volunteer himself in a heartbeat to save
Yeah.
the rest of his family.
Exactly. I think it would happen pretty quick.
I mean, I would volunteer to save humanity.
I don't know. Some of humanity would be like, fuck you guys.
Only if they made a plaque.
What-
Statue of Brandon.
Although, if it was like
Like,
a
I would
quick
honestly
death, or
wouldn't mind
like,
half of Houston being died before I would. How do I deserve it? And some of these numbskulls are just fine.
you're gonna let half the city of Houston, you're gonna let like 2 billion people die?
2 billion?
2 million.
I think there is a certain level of stuff that people bring to society to help society thrive, and I'm higher up on that pole than a lot of people within Houston.
Then the cumulative value of 2 million people?
No, each one's individually valued, not as a cumulative 2 million.
Well, you said half the city of Houston.
Yeah, and I believe that I'm at least 51% are up.
So you would volunteer.
Value.
You would volunteer the someone from the lower.
Are you telling me
50%?
that you don't provide at least more to society than everyone under that? Those potential 2 million?
No. Like what? Like what makes me more valuable than?
Well, I don't know. That's
Like-
obviously you don't that.
So what if there's some like little grandma who is like inspiring her kids who are going to grow up to be like they're going to president or like cure cancer or save us from AI, whatever. The reoccurring theme is here.
Okay, but I don't think that the death of that grandma's not going to stop that from happening.
Maybe that grandma dies and those kids go into some sort of opiate fueled downward spiral
Well, if
and they
know
don't
the
ever have a
reason,
chance.
but not if they know the reason is to save humanity because we need to sacrifice half the population.
Abbott, you don't know that.
I don't, but I think statistically that is a better bet. What,
No.
So who should be the wee kid who doesn't bring any value then?
I think kids
No.
are out.
You're going to sacrifice some kids?
No, we can't sacrifice the kids. Kids are out. No.
Why not?
Because they're the future.
Liam, you've
Are
been
they the
over.
future though? Because at the moment, if we sacrificed half the population and we left all the kids, you wouldn't have much of a population running it. You'd have to have at least
They'd
2/3
figure
of
it
them
out.
adults.
Then it becomes the 100.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't have the kids. The kids can't control. Kids can't run. Kids.
Full
They
circle.
did. They created a whole
Right.
society.
I would say if you need to half the population, I would say probably 4/5 of them have to be adults. You can repopulate,
you're right.
but you can't have kids
I know.
taking any more than that percentage.
Except for this other show I
In
watched.
fact, even probably less than that. Why would you have kids? You'd have a 20-year gap would be bad though, so you need some, I guess.
Need some.
Yeah.
Better off killing all the old people.
You'd have the same situation as what you have in Japan.
Well, that's a whole bunch of other stuff going on in Japan. That's not just lacking kids. That's a desire for feet and raccoons and anime.
Feet and
tentacles
raccoons.
hentai.
Are you ready for the next question?
Yes. What do I sacrifice? I don't know. 50% of the population.
Some old little granny.
Old granny, young kids. Let's hit them both at both ends. So we have like that's all I'll do.
Sandwich it.
Any kid under the age of 2.
Very
Damn.
biblical.
There's a large sense of humor to that, but also a little bit of truth.
You're not babysitting my kids.
All right, on to the next question. If it were guaranteed to reduce violent crime by 30%, should everyone have to give a DNA sample to the police?
No.
Why?
Because that's an invasion of my privacy.
If it was guaranteed to reduce violent crime by 30%,
30% is not
What,
enough.
what are the other
what's the percentage?
what are the other costs?
What do you mean?
What is the government going to do with that DNA sample?
Nothing. They just hold it on file.
That's what they're going to tell you.
Yeah.
Just like they're telling you the Earth is round.
Yeah.
I don't think 30% is high enough.
What if it was 80?
Maybe 80. I don't have any to hide. I don't tend to commit crimes. I don't care if the government has my DNA. Doesn't
Same.
affect
That's what
me.
I'm thinking. Is what's the downside of them having it, unless they misuse it?
Well,
How could they misuse your DNA, though? Other than
So if you have somebody that's
yeah.
not good in power, and they frame
they could
Leon
frame
for
people.
doing-
You could plant it. As a,
Yeah.
At some
you killed
point,
Epstein.
someone could come to power and then say, I'm going to look at everyone's DNA and everyone who has these certain DNA traits, I'm just going to kill. Or
oh, we got a big event coming up. We got to get rid of half the population.
Yeah.
Let's check their DNA.
Let's filter it.
Yeah.
Or even more basic,
Yeah,
like,
that's a good
hey,
point.
we have this medicine, or we know that this day need these people with DNA like sunscreen, or need this sunscreen more, so we'll promote this sunscreen, advertise on their social media. Even that small type of things. That's big money in marketing and governments, and they sell it.
But that's at least helping, though. It's like these people, by their DNA, need this sunscreen. Let's give them this sunscreen.
Well, yeah, but
At least that's
it's like selective advertising, though, which shouldn't be necessarily the case, because we're already like that with like Alexa.
Yeah.
She's listening to us right now.
I'd much rather be selected on things that are going to help me live longer
That's true. I
than
guess.
watch or
yeah.
something. You know?
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Well, there's also the possibility that it could turn into a tool with which to qualify or disqualify someone from, let's say, like a job.
Yeah.
Especially
Or-
when AI is
or-
running it and doing the screening.
It's like that movie with, what's his name? Not Minority Report.
That is Minority Report.
There was Minority? No, that
think
was
so,
the
yeah.
one where like they could see into the future,
Yeah.
and they, which is
It's
another
basically
follow-up.
the same thing for this.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Is it ethical?
to reduce violent crime, I don't care. Yeah, sure, but I think that's probably not a big enough incentive for most people to do that. Give their DNA, and there's too many people who think that for some reason it's special, or this or that, or whatever.
Or the government's watching.
Yeah. Now, I think an interesting kind of addition to this would be: would you give all your DNA to the government for them to provide you with all the potential threats and things that your DNA has?
Yes.
Or,
Already tried
or
that.
even different, would you give over your DNA if...
That's just 23 in me.
Yeah, that's true.
I've done that.
Would you give over your DNA if they could... Actually, no, this is different. Never mind. This is talking about gene manipulation to kids and stuff. I don't think... I think government... There's other ways to prevent violent crimes than everyone giving over their DNA. Because does it prevent... How would it prevent violent crimes?
I don't know.
I think
This is a hypothetical. It doesn't have to actually make sense.
Well,
Sorry.
what if they used it and they said everyone who has this certain gene is predisposed to like violence or psychopathic or
the way it would work is that you would have some artificial intelligence that knows all those different markers and how it,
and so all those people are pre-screened and then preemptively jailed.
I think it's more of a thing like
you can't preemptively jail someone. That if that was how they're doing it, I'd definitely give my DNA because that doesn't make any sense.
would it not be more of it? They have all the DNA in a database, so if somebody were to commit a violent crime, they could easily detect who it was, unless it was like the perfect crime,
and then prevent them from doing it again.
Yeah, no, they.
It's
Well,
all
you just know,
retroactive.
like, it is very retroactive, but it makes you stop and think, like, okay, I know that the percentage of people who are caught after committing violent crimes is 99%, because all of our DNA is already gotten, and either it makes them a really good criminal, or it makes them second guess themselves, and they're like, okay, I shouldn't do this because.
I think at the moment the amount of cases that are solved or are closed or defined through DNA evidence is actually really small, and that there isn't actually many situations where DNA is we have the DNA, they're guilty type thing.
Is that because their DNA isn't already in the database?
I would have to say it would have, for it to actually reduce crime, it'd have to be something like one of these movies or something, because the person that's going to do a violent crime is not likely to think of the consequences of that crime. Think, oh, well, now the government's got my DNA, I shouldn't go kill the guy.
I think most violent crimes are spontaneous. They're not, thought about. Yeah, they're not premeditated. So then it wouldn't.
And if they are, they're going to do them anyway.
Yeah, because they're just thinking about ways of getting away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they could guarantee drop by 80%.
No.
I don't care. I give it now if asked. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
What if you could do it by 80%, but you had to get a chip put in?
No.
So then that preemptively, that is more than just the DNA. It's more active and much more in line with a sci-fi movie.
No.
Like,
would you do that?
You know what? If they could guarantee everybody has that and the data is available to everybody, no, you can't do that.
That's even worse.
But the thing is, I wouldn't want. What I don't like is the fact that a government could control that, because at the moment the governments are corrupt, and I'm not saying they are just every government's corrupt. Everyone's been corrupt, but that would just help them.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing I wouldn't do it against. As in, society, having crime in society and stuff is what helps us become a threat to a government. You take that threat away because they know what we all are, then there's no governments that I'm worried. I'm concerned. The chance for rallying against them is the only thing that kind of keeps them on their toes, really.
Yeah.
So no chip.
No chip.
DNA. Yeah, sure, why not? I could just blame my brother anyway.
Exactly.
Brandon, you know?
I'm a no.
I mean, I've got about 60 of swabs I'm going to be handing out, so.
Yep.
You can hand. I mean, I don't know.
That's
who's
why
gonna
you have
want
60 of the swabs.
them. Yeah.
I just randomly hook them and I go, I got you.
It's kind of locking your door at night.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else got any other? Oh, what?
I've got like a lighthearted bonus.
Topic
if
bonus
you wanna-
question.
Bonus question.
Yeah, because all these are about death.
These
We're
are like
being
very
serious.
deep. Yeah.
Here's me saying beforehand, let's keep it lighthearted.
Why would someone be carrying a narwhal tusk down the street?
That's a great question.
So the background is that there was that terrorist attack in London over the weekend.
Oh, shit, I didn't hear about this. What happened?
Yeah.
It was a guy with a knife, stabbed several people, and he got fought off by a guy with a narwhal husk.
That's amazing.
It's like a 10-foot long narwhal husk. And I'm like, why is this dude carrying a narwhal husk down the street of London?
That's
like on
amazing.
London
I
Bridge.
love that.
Yeah, that's
Only in
awesome.
Man, I was gonna say only in London, but that's not.
I
really
could
the case.
see Liam like wearing the narwhal husk across
And then
his
just,
back.
whipping it
Like,
out.
that
Keep
is-
it
That's the guy.
Uh-huh.
This is the guy with the narwhal tusk.
That is fantastic. He should get a medal.
And probably a background check or something.
Yeah.
Because he's carrying a narwhal.
He was probably just walking off to the National History Museum or Museum of Natural Sciences.
So that's what you think he was doing?
Where the fuck do you get a narwhal tusk from?
I
It's so
think
rare.
That's a great question. Why does he have that?
no. I think he was either going to some sort of cult, like ceremony, like the Da Vinci Code, or it was some sort of
Was he shot
weird
dead?
like sex party thing.
How was he stopped?
Maybe both.
Yeah.
Narwhal tusk.
Narwhal tusk to the knee.
Are
You
narwhal tusks sharp?
I'm sure they're pointed. They're probably not sharp.
Yeah.
They're kind of like spiraled.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Here's the story on the guy.
Because I believe the two things that kind of twirl
If
from
you've
the-
never been stabbed with the narwhal tusk, it's not a pleasurable experience.
Have you been stabbed with a narwhal tusk?
Oh no,
Okay.
no.
But you can tell us from
Yeah,
first-hand
just-
experience.
Yeah.
I think that's as in. I don't know where you would get one.
Oh, so it says he grabbed it off a wall at Fishmonger's Hall.
Ah, okay, that makes sense then.
Oh, so he just like saw it.
So it seems like so he was a chef from Poland.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and just
Says he
Grabbed
was
it
stabbed
off the
himself, right?
and he got stabbed in the hand.
And did he fend the guy off?
Yeah, it says he gave him a beating with a narwhal tusk.
That's amazing. I like that.
Like, out of all the things you imagine just running into a shop and going,
Narwhal tusk.
So one guy beat him with a fire extinguisher, and the other one with a narwhal tusk.
Oh god, that's amazing. I
That
love
would really
those.
hurt.
Yeah.
I do not want to get beaten up by a narwhal.
I think that's the guy.
But he was captured, right? He wasn't.
Oh, it's
Oh, okay. So there was two narwhal tusks on the edge of this place, and the guy took one off. Interesting.
I wonder
Well,
if it was
yes.
real.
I mean, I think I've seen narwhal tusks at the museum before.
Yeah. And that seems like something that would
Why
be
do
in
narwhals have them?
one of those cheesy imperialist seafood restaurants.
Why do you think it's cheese and beers? Because he's Polish.
No,
That was
because
the
it's London.
fishmongers.
Because it's from London. Yeah,
From London, eh?
from London.
From London. I didn't hear about that. I'm surprised I didn't hear about that attack.
Yeah, apparently there was a lot of stabbings yesterday.
Yeah.
2 days ago, yeah.
Amsterdam and
Or was it coordinated
Brussels.
stabbings?
I don't know. Drake was just telling me about it.
Yeah.
Well, we still managed to turn that nice, friendly bonus
We
question
did.
into something miserable and
About death.
depressing. But so be it. Well, I'd like to thank Brandon and Drake for joining us. We kind of forced them into this
Thank you.
last minute, but it's given us quite a good wee
Yeah, this is a
podcast.
really
for
nice
this week.
one.
I'll probably try and keep this as one big one. All cut into 2. We'll see how it goes. You guys got anything else to add at the end?
No, I just want to pour one out in memory of my beloved Aggies.
Did you lose? Did we see?
I'm gonna go.
We didn't see, but we know they lost.
Yeah.
Yes, they lost.
Drake, anything to add?
No.
All right. Well, in that case, I've been Liam,
I'm Kayla.
and this has been Mumblecast.
Bye.